Okay, it sounds like we're live. Hello, everyone. How are
Hello.
you guys?
Good afternoon.
All
Or
right.
whenever you're watching this, maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's tomorrow morning when you're prepping your hair and, getting yourself ready to be in that bitch mode.
We're going to teach you how to be a bitch today, in case you missed the memo.
I thought it was how to not be a bitch.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
How to not be a bitch, or maybe we could teach them how to be a conscious bitch.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one too.
There's times where that bitch comes in handy.
Yeah, sometimes the bitch gets to drive the bus and run the show. Sometimes she comes out when we want stuff done a certain way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I guess one little note before we start, if you want to get a hold of any of us, probably the best way is through Facebook or through the UpRoarious Life page. Message any one of us. We have an amazing event coming up we'd love to have you all be a part of. And yeah, I look forward to teaching you how not to be a bitch today.
So I think it'd be kind of fun if we actually start with the different ways that we have been a bitch in the past. That I think that there's so many women out there that can relate to how we're a bitch in the holidays and how we show up for our friends, our family, our kids, our spouses. And it's really been in the past for me. I know it's been sometimes consciously bitchy and sometimes just looking for total love and acceptance and approval outside of myself, and so I do so many things and I think it'd be kind of fun to share some of our ways that we have been a bitch before we get into the place of not being a bitch.
Well, I'll go first. My bitch definitely comes out anytime that I'm expecting a certain outcome and I'm not getting it. It just riles this frustration, and I just turn into the biggest bitch, and I get upset. I'll get really mean. My friend described it as, oh, you got to be careful. Terah's claws will come out. Doesn't happen often, but it happens. And so yeah, I can definitely be a complete bitch. It doesn't feel good when that happens. Usually it's not being a conscious bitch, and it's really just steamrolling over people, and it's very selfish because I want everything to be perfect. I remember one time, like when I was little, I was really upset because my family never really ate together, and my expectation was we should be like all the other families in the neighborhood where they actually had dinner together. And I threw the biggest fit, and I was just like, why don't we eat together? We should be a family. And so the next morning, my mom woke us up at 5 a.m. so that we could all eat breakfast together. And everyone was just so pissed off because we were just like, it's 5 a.m. And she's like, don't you want to have breakfast with all of us? And
so the bitch got her way. So the bitch served in that moment. It got her way.
Yeah, it lasted one day, but anyway, it was definitely a bitch fest moment or day, yeah. And it definitely serves at times, and
do you feel like really it's not you said something that it doesn't feel good?
Yeah.
I think that I was in a place of not being as present as I am now, but when I was in that place, like it almost felt good. It's like that adrenaline, like I craved the bitch part. And it was like I didn't really like it because then it created lots of stress with everyone else around me.
Right.
But it was kind of like a part of me that was, in this moment I don't like it, but back when I mean not in this moment, back many years ago or back even a few years ago, it was kind of like I craved that energy. And the bitch got shit done, and the bitch made it perfect, and the bitch made like everything, all the structure happen, and in the times it was supposed to happen. And so it was kind of like I got addicted to the idea of I have to be a bitch to get anything done. I have to be the bitch in order to accomplish what I want accomplished in the time frame that I want it accomplished in.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
For you too.
There's a part of that. It's more about when I was getting power hungry, and yeah, if I'm in a place where I'm just like, hey, I'm like Miss Popular. So it's almost like my ego. When my ego comes out, then I'm just like, oh yeah, and I can be mean to you, and I don't fucking care, and it just, yeah. There's a part of that too where when I'm in that bitch mode, sometimes it feels really good.
Yeah.
However, sometimes not everyone else loves the bitch Terah. And that's okay. I don't care if people don't love me, but it's how I feel at the time too. And
I think it's interesting that you brought up like you felt good and it was the ego.
yeah.
And I think so many of us get caught up in that of like the feel good, the pride, the ego, and the arrogance of it. And we think that we're in a place of being bold and being direct and telling people what to do and just owning our space and being the power and authority in our own life, right? But it's kind of like there's such a difference between being bold and being arrogant. Like arrogant comes off prideful, arrogance, like what we were discussing the other day, Caramie, like the class goes, your nose goes up and everyone gets to look up to you, kind of like the holier than thou kind of thing. But it's so different when we choose to be that conscious bitch, can be very bold and conscious of what she's doing without the arrogance and the ego trip.
Right.
Yep, totally.
All right, I want to hear some more bitch stories from you guys.
One of my, probably the biggest way I've been playing a bitch lately, which has been fun, when I allow myself to get super overwhelmed, because I'm taking on the role, here's the holidays, you got to do all this stuff, give to everyone else. I'm not taking care of myself, and it was like what Angellee was expressing to me earlier. It really resonated with me. I'm taking care of everyone else. It's like the inner bitch inside screaming, pay attention to yourself. And it's going to come out, and it's complete just ego coming up and whatever else, but it's like getting my attention, saying, hey, you get to start taking care of yourself. You get to receive too. The holidays are not all about just giving to others, but also giving to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, Caramie.
That was only ego, Caramie? Do you think that's only ego?
No, not necessarily.
I think that's actually that consciousness that's coming out of us, that conscious bitch or our spirit that's saying take care of us, and then so many of us push that down and keep pushing that back because it's not good to receive. It's not like we've been so programmed that we give, but when we're in that space of give, we become a taker rather than a receiver or a giver. In the energy of give until we're so completely overwhelmed and resentful, we become the taker. And so I think in that moment, it was how you worded it. Your inner bitch was coming out, and it's like she was saying, "Take care of me." And
yeah.
I think that's like our consciousness and our spirit stepping up and saying, "Hey, pay attention. You're going to go back into your old ways. You don't take care of me, you're going to go back into old patterns, have the same old shit, the same old results. That's not really what we want." So in that moment, I think it served.
Yes, absolutely, it did serve. I let it go on for a while. It may have not served. And I can see where I really did get back into what I used to be and that same energy and all that. And now I feel like I'm just the observer of that, like, I just get to notice and move forward. Start taking care of myself again.
Again. I think that's what it's like. It's a constant reminder for sure.
Yep.
I want to hear Angellee's bitch.
Yeah, my inner bitch definitely comes out when my kids, or usually my kids, when they're challenging the way that I want things done. So with 5 kids, sometimes things can feel a little bit overwhelming to me. And so I have in my mind, I have everything laid out, how this needs to get done, then this, and this. And if they come in and challenge how I see in my mind that things need to get done, then in my mind, I've totally closed off any other way that it could happen more smoothly, or what anybody else's experience might be, whether or not, you know, they're feeling really tired at that moment and would like to wait 10 minutes before they do what I've just asked them. So for me, it comes out when they challenge that, and then I'll bark back at them and go, well, you just do it. We've got so much to get done. And
Angellee's a bitch. It's her way or the highway.
Yeah, and then my kids will say, you won't even listen to me. It just always has to be your way, doesn't it? And I stop and go, oh, wow.
I'm mom.
Because I said so.
It have to be your way. I'm like, because I'm the mom and I said that's how it gets to be. And it's like, no. Because there's just too much to get done. And so as I've let go of the expectations, like Terah was saying, and things don't have to be perfect, and I've let go of that, then the inner bitch is like, okay, I don't have to show up and try to meet all these expectations. And but it serves a purpose. If I see that there is things that absolutely have to get done, then sometimes I pick the conscious bitch out of my bag of tricks and I put her on to get things done. And I'm learning to play with her more and not judge that part of me so harshly, and just more play with it. And it's interesting and it's fun,
And we expand more and more, and we discover, she is kind of fun to play with. We'll bring her out of our bag of tricks more often.
Totally.
I can totally relate to what you're saying on that, Angellee, with kids. That's been part of me too. And in addition to that, it's been a place of feeling like what I discovered so many years ago. I was doing so many things for approval of others, love of others, acceptance of others, showing up. You got to get your holiday cards out. You got to get your family pictures done. All the kids need to look perfect. The hair needs to be perfect. I need to be perfect. The house needs to be a perfect, clean house. If anyone is ever going to come over, the decorations need to be up at a certain time of the year, whether it's right after Thanksgiving or December 1st. And if we get off that track, then that's not my perfection is like it feels like not wanted or not needed kind of thing. And so then you go to all these holiday parties, and you got to make this treat for this party and this dish for this party, and then it needs to turn out good, so that you got to make a sample one before to make sure if it's a new recipe, you're trying it out before, because you're not going to try out a new recipe on all your family, extended family, because it's like, well, that would look bad if it turned out like shit, and we don't want that. And then the gifts have to be wrapped all perfect, and they have to have all these perfect bowls. It's like, oh my God. Holy shit, that would overwhelm anyone. Whether you're a man or woman or child or anyone in that picture, that would be freaking overwhelming. Yep. And it was in that space, like even just talking about it, I have a tight chest, and it's like I need to breathe just talking about it, because that's kind of how I showed up, and it's like took all the joy and the holiday bliss and those special magical moments. It freaking took it all away.
And then it becomes a time of resentment, and all the things that you end up doing, sending out holiday cards and wrapping gifts, it's just another to-do. It's not something that you're enjoying, and you're not really giving because you want to, it's because you have to, and there just ends up being a whole bunch of resentments.
Yeah, and it's a sad place to be. It's a depressing place to be. It's an angry place to be. And it's just like all of that is just so not necessary. So not necessary. And you guys, all 4 of us have come up with a few things that we've done. And it's so, that space that we're in is consuming our being. And any of you guys, we say that at the holidays because it seems like there's so much stress, but this happens all throughout the year. Anytime you're on a deadline, anytime, that there's so much overwhelm. And that place is, again, it's miserable. Would you guys agree? What would it be for you guys?
Oh, yeah. Totally overwhelmed. List of expectations that I'll put on myself that are totally unneeded, that somebody else may or may not be expecting me to do it. And most of the time they're not expecting me to do things throughout the whole year. It's like this other part of me, I'm putting on this persona or this mask to get approval. And so if I show up and I do more for the people that I love and care about and want their approval, then they're going to love me more or praise me more. And because
but do you do it because you do want their approval? Are you saying you do it because you want their approval?
That's where I've been. That's what created the broken, the stress and the overwhelm and the overload, because I was looking for the approval based on what I did. And when people don't appreciate it, then it's like, well, shit, I just did all this stuff. Nobody, appreciated me. Then you resent the people that you're doing it for, when it's really all for yourself anyways, to get your own.
So true.
Your own sense of,
we create our own hell. We create our own reality of people not approving and loving and accepting us. Oh, what a vicious cycle.
Yep.
And this is the part where the old bitch, the non-conscious bitch, comes out. This is where it's like, well, now I'm pissed off. I don't want to do anything for you, and F you, and you can go do whatever you want. I'm going to go escape. I'm going to go take my time and not talk to you. I'm going to go meditate and ignore you. I'm going to go
drink alcohol.
Drink alcohol, do anything to escape this reality because I'm so pissed off because you should do this and you should do this, and really I'm doing it all to myself.
Yeah.
So true.
So we've talked about like the expectations and the just perfectionism, and so how would we say that, what's your suggestions on kind of letting those things go, because those are the things that really are causing this bitch to come out, this unconscious bitch to really come out. And what I would say is, first and foremost, to really just drop those expectations. We grew up with all these holiday movies of how Christmas should be. There should be snow, there should be lights, there should be lots of presents under the Christmas tree, and it should be wrapped a certain way, and there should be lots of food with lots of sugar and sugar plums, and a lot of family, and family should all be happy. And all of that, if it doesn't look like that, then it's just an absolute nightmare, and it's stressful, and it's heartache. But I think there's also a little bit of, I'm going to be with my family, and there's that expectation that it's just going to be a fight anyway, which even just adds to that stress. And so I think Caramie was talking about this, where we just get to take time for ourselves. We get to relax, and we just get to kind of step out of what it is that we're expecting for holidays. We can have a beautiful plan for what we want our holiday to look like, but if we're not attached to that and we let that go, and instead we're just like, okay, this is what I want, but if it doesn't happen exactly like that, then I'm still going to be okay, and I'm just going to go with the flow and have fun. That's what I want, is a happy holiday.
Yeah, and for any of you guys watching, you may want to just take a few notes on this if you found yourself in the bitch mode. And you found yourself resonating with anything that we've shared, or your own stories. It may serve you to take some notes this last few minutes as we share some of these key principles and key tools that you can use to shift through that.
Yeah, something else to expand upon that, things that I have found that have really helped is to learn when to say no. Like, there's so much that goes on in December, and it feels overwhelming. So start saying no to the things that don't resonate with you, that will not bring that joy. I've had to be brave enough to say no to family events, even though, we should be with family. If it's not authentic for me, I'm not going to show up present and bring joy with me. I'm going to bring the bitch with me, the one that doesn't work, the one that other people get hurt by, the one that I get hurt by. It's learning what is authentic for you and what's not. Also, over-exaggerating it. I remember being a bitch just a couple weeks ago, and it was, "Okay, kids," and even to my husband, "Let's just throw a fit. I'm being a bitch. Let's all just be bitches." And we made it into a funny joke. Like,
That's perfect.
like,
Love that.
Bitch,
Done
go
that
back and
too.
forth.
Love it.
Yeah.
It snaps you right out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, next thing you know, you're laughing on the floor. You all look ridiculous. Who cares at that point? You're having fun.
I love it. And I love you guys that Caramie always brings the fun.
Totally.
And he always brings that. I'm appreciating that very much about you, Caramie.
Thank you.
Really play full out all the time, Caramie. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I kind of want to expand on what you were saying, Caramie, about saying no. And that has really been a huge thing for me as I have had more and more kids over the years, and I've had to simplify. Even though I have more, I feel like my life is more simple now that I have 5 kids than back when I had 3 kids. And it's been a process, but it's been me learning how to let go of expectations, like Terah was saying, and then also tuning into myself and noticing whether this is an authentic yes, I want to do this, or no. And then from there, honoring if I don't want to do it and it really feels like it needs to get done, then asking for support. So instead of putting everything on my shoulders, there's so much that my kids and my husband and people in my circle can support me with. And I used to just do it all myself. I can't ask for help. And that has really helped me a lot. But I was afraid to ask for help. It was like, oh, well, he's been working all day. He should just chill on the couch and relax. Well, I'd been working all day too. And so really ask for support and then let go of some of those things and go, okay, does this really have to get done right now? Or can the counters stay a little dirty, or the dishes be undone for 30 minutes, and can I just go connect with my kids? That's what I'm really wanting to do. So let go of the dishes and stop freaking out that everything has to be perfect before I can go sit down and relax and play with my kids and enjoy this family time. I've learned to let go of the perfect anything and go enjoy the moment with whatever I authentically want to do in that moment. And then I all of a sudden am energized again, and the kids are fine, and I've connected with them, and I now have about 15 minutes or whatever to go finish up what I thought needed to be done right then.
Awesome. So. I love it. I think to kind of sum that up, to be able to say no to things that have become the social norm is the 2 words. And all you viewers, you're going to want to write this down, and that's delete and delegate.
Yeah.
You don't have to have everything in your holiday life. You're trying to cram like 3 months of stuff within one month. So delete some stuff.
Yep.
And ask yourself consciously, ask yourself, am I doing this to get love from others? Am I doing this to get acceptance from others? Am I doing this to get the approval of others? And really ask yourself and listen. Or stop doing it. And there's so much more that you guys can dive into and ask yourself on these kinds of questions once you discover what that is for you. And then the other one is to delegate. And then once you delegate, just like Angellee was saying, is ask for support. But then once you ask for it, or once you delegate a task, let them do it their way. It doesn't have to be your perfect way. If you are willing to delegate it, then delegate it 100%. Give it to your 10-year-old. Give it to your 5-year-old. Give it to your husband. Your friend, a family member. And if they're willing to do it, and you've asked and you've made a very clear agreement, and they say yes, let them do it their way. And let it be. That's a huge key thing for so many of us women, thinking that it needs to be a certain way. And it goes back with the old saying, if you want it done right, you do it yourself, right? It keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
It keeps us stuck.
Unneeded stress that we heap upon ourselves. And I remember coming to the point where I went, holy crap, I it doesn't need to be perfect anymore. It's not worth my sanity. It's not worth my happiness.
Yeah.
Why am I stressing so much? This isn't what really matters. My connections, the time that I spend with my kids right now, you know, taking video and capturing the moments and making sure that I'm making the connections with family members. I don't see that often.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think another thing to add is all you list writers out there, I resonate with you very, very deeply because I'm a list writer myself. And scratch off everything but the top 3. Like literally, you take the top 3 things on your to-do list or your completion list, whatever it is you choose to call it, and you take those 3 and you run with it. The rest of it doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't matter. You think it does, and I'm here to tell you it does not matter.
Yep. There's another day.
Oh, scream! Make it bigger than it is, right? Right, Caramie? Make it bigger than it is.
Throw your face on the ground and throw a fit. I think we have a video of me and you doing that in your living room, Clarissa.
Yes, we do.
Oh, that was funny. That was some good times.
And the girls doing it too, your kids. That was awesome.
And Terah has her camera recording.
Well, and you can see your kids' face and energy shift. I've noticed this when I play with when I feel it's serious, we need to get shit done, and I'm in that space of expectations. When I notice I'm there and they're calling me on my stuff, then when I play with it and I make it bigger and I'm like, okay, here's the bitchy mom, and they get to play this out with me. They look at me and go, oh, they take a big deep breath, and all of a sudden the stress I see like washes from their face. Nice. And I take a big deep breath and it's like, how about let's play with this? Let's put some music on. What can we do to make this fun? You know, this life gets to be easeful.
Then you end up spilling something down the front of you in bitch mode, and then it's like, oh, good thing I did that and not one of the kids.
Right.
That actually happened to me one time. I literally spilled the milk, and Levi's like, and I just started crying because I was just done. And he's like, "You're crying over spilled milk." I'm like, "Shut up!" I'm
literally crying over spilled milk. And one year I had this nice, beautiful pie made, and my son decided to be a ninja, and he was using his knife skills. And he's carving it, and he made it look so cool, and he had all these awesome lines in there, and that was the pie. And in that moment, actually, I was pretty proud of myself because this was recently, and I'm like, nice ninja skills, dude. He's like, I did good, huh? And it totally shifted. I'm like, yeah, you did good, and then you can't help but laugh because I chose a totally different approach to him.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
and it doesn't mean that you can't say you didn't appreciate that. It doesn't mean you didn't say, hey, dude, I didn't appreciate that. Nice ninja skills. And how about you find something else to use your ninja skills?
So drop the masks. Literally drop the mask.
And if they're there and it feels serious, then just play with them. Play with what's up. If it doesn't want to drop and it feels serious and it won't let go, don't make it go away yet. Just play with it. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
Should we all put on our serious face? How long can we hold it? Do you think we can hold it for the last minute? I can't hold. Oh, come on, all you viewers, do it with us. Hold it.
You know how serious life can be.
Give each other the evil eye. Look over and send a crusty to someone.
Make sure to add the silent treatment in there.
Yeah. That's a big one. Especially to your spouse.
I
No,
won't go into that one.
talk to everybody else but your spouse. That's what you do.
That used to be my favorite way to be a good.
Everything is, you know, you got your smiles on. And then talk to your spouse.
Okay, so that looks like all the time we have. If you guys want to get in contact with us or hear more about what we got going on, we have an amazing event coming up in January. You can Facebook us through that, and we'll also be here every Tuesday for 30 minutes at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You guys
And at Caramie, if any of them have requests of what they would like us to go over, send us a message through UpRoarious Facebook. Send us a private message. The four of us will see it, and we'll put it in our hat and pick something out of what we're going to do that week. So if you guys have certain requests of what you'd like us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
See you later.
Okay.